What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking us out. You are watching UAlbany Overtime. We are your hosts. I'm Trey Farkas.
And I'm Donna Conrad.
Bringing you all the latest on UAlbany sports.
After losing to them earlier this season, the Danes welcomed Stony Brook to Syracuse a week ago looking for revenge. The Seawolves entered the game with an 18-game win streak, the longest in the country. Let's take a look at how this one played out. Early in the first half, Peter Hooley intercepts the pass and takes it all the way for two. Ahmad Walker dishes it to Carson Purifoy, who hits the three and puts the Seawolves up 10-7 early. Now, Rayshawn McGrew, no foul call, off the glass, gets it to go. He finishes with 13 on the night. But from that point on, UAlbany dominated the highlights. This one's tough to see, but Dallas Enema goes Dr. J as he scoops under the basket to put the Danes ahead 6. Now, we haven't seen much of this from Greg Steyer, but take a look. He bodies his way past McGrew and one. He is pumped as the Danes make a statement. Similar action from the big man Richard Peters as he manhandles potential draft pick Jameel Warney to put the Danes up by 11. A few possessions later, Peters getting it done on the defensive end as he blocks Warney's shots. And of course, it wouldn't be a UAlbany highlight without Peter Hooley as he hits the corner three late in the second half. To top it off, Joe Cremo drives baseline, uses his body to shield Warney as the Danes would win 82-70, ending the Seawolves streak. Here's Troy for more on the big rematch.
Donovan's a sold-out crowd here tonight at Syracuse Arena. Stony Brook undefeated in the American East. Coming into tonight, the big question would be, how do you stop Jameel Warney? Here's Will Brown with the answer.
Warney demands so much attention. He's going to score. We wanted to make sure we had a body between Warney and the basket at all times. And if he's going to catch it, and he's really good, if he's going to catch it and score over us, then so be it.
Those adult teams that may not force me to the middle where I'm really comfortable at. And, what we do is what we do best, and we come out and make a statement. And we're happy with the way we played, but we got to make sure we keep the ball rolling now.
I spoke to Will Brown after the game. He was quick to tell his team, act like you've been here before. They still got a lot of progress to make before the end of the season, but he does believe if a team is going to knock off Stony Brook at the end of the year, it will be UAlbany. From Syracuse Arena, Troy Farkas, UAlbany Overtime.
Congrats to freshman Joe Cremo for receiving his third Rookie of the Week honor. The freshman put up 16 points to lead the charge against Stony Brook, shooting a perfect 10 for 10 at the free throw line.
Taking a look at the conference standings, Albany trailing Stony Brook by 2 games, UNH coming in just 1 game behind. Coach Will Brown said earlier this team needs to avoid slip-ups in conference play, and as long as those don't happen, then it looks like UAlbany will be the number 2 seed come tournament time. So, why does this matter? In most major conferences, every tournament game is played at one specific place. With the American East, the higher seed is awarded the home game. So if the season ended today, UAlbany would be at Syracuse Arena for every game it plays, unless they were to face Stony Brook, which would take the Danes to Long Island, where they lost earlier this year.
The women's team has been rolling over their opponents in the American East, but this past weekend, the Danes took their first loss in conference play against Maine, ending their 13-game win streak.
They've gotten back in the win column, and the team is determined to not let it happen again. I spoke with some of the players yesterday, and they are looking forward to the next few weeks. In fact, I really like how Sharissa Richards put it.
You know, last year we lost to Stony Brook. It's nothing new, so it's a loss that we got to put behind us and move forward. We're thinking it's championship time, we got to get ready for that. It's exciting that, it's a couple more games left and then it's championship. We get a little crazy and we're like, it's time, we got to get it, we got to go and, stay focused and do the little things. This is where it counts the most. We try to stay focused, and this is where we somehow have more boost than ever for some reason, but it's good. It's a good feeling. It's a good thing to know that we'll be ready.
You heard from Richards. The team is excited going forward, but Coach Abe knows her team still has work left to do before they think about the postseason.
A little bit. Everybody comes with a chip on their shoulder when they play us, and that's what we've learned. We can't take anybody for granted.
UAlbany will take that mindset to Syracuse Arena Thursday versus UMass Lowell and with Hartford on Sunday, which will be shown on ESPN3. If you keep watching, we'll get back to some more UAlbany Overtime. Please stay with us.
UAlbany Overtime. With the men's lacrosse team, it always seems like they have a challenging schedule, and this year is no different as Scott Marr's team went to Syracuse to take on the powerhouse. Let's take it over to Troy, who is at the Carrier Dome for more on Sunday's game.
That's right, Donna. I am here at the Carrier Dome for UAlbany's first lacrosse game of the year against Syracuse, a top 5 team. Very excited for this game today. So much history in this building. We think all the great basketball games, lacrosse, and football games. I'm excited to be here. UAlbany's excited to be here. They'll take the field in just a few minutes.
Look who it is, Lyle Thompson back for the Danes. JK, it's Chauncey Hill, repping his number 4 and ponytail. This guy, he's still here, Blaze Reardon, believed to be the best goalie in the country by his teammates, facing a Syracuse team who he lost to a season ago. First quarter, Cuse jumps out to a 2-0 lead, but here's Seth Oakes, drops the pass to Bennett Drake, lets one rip for the team's first goal of the year. A minute later, Derek DeJoe, like a cat, scurries past Harry Erickson, 3-1 Syracuse. The classic orange mascot, loving every minute of it. What a fruit that guy was. From the X position, Kyle McClancy shakes and bakes, gets it to Justin Ray, who trims the lead to 5-3 Syracuse. Now, the great passing, the 6'7" Matt Lane puts another one by Reardon. He had a rough day with Syracuse, having the ball so often. UAlbany's Eli Lazda trying to keep his team in the game, going full out Derek Jeter. He scores 8-5 Syracuse. And just because we haven't said his name yet, Connor Fields finds John Maloney for the goal, but Cuse would take over in the second half, winning 16-7.
It's a huge disadvantage to not have the ball off that draw and to have to get a stop every time.
Seeing 60 shots in one game is an awful lot of shots, and that's a product of turning the ball over.
I thought we really were careless with the ball and turned it over way too many times. So if you're not winning faceoffs, you can't have 18 turnovers. Hey, so first game of the year, it's February. We're going to keep moving on and get after Drexel next week.
UAlbany will play its home opener Saturday afternoon versus Drexel. Unfortunately, the Danes won't have the luxury of playing inside like they did at Syracuse. Early forecasts say it will be chilly with a low of 25 degrees.
The UAlbany women's lacrosse team should not go unrecognized as they have some high expectations of their own. The Danes were ranked number 20 in both of the main polls this year. The team is predicted to finish second in the America East behind Stony Brook. To go along with the top 20 rankings, the women have 3 players who were named preseason Inside Lacrosse All-Americans. Rachel Bowes, Christine Johnson, and Dakota Savachev will lead the team as they prepare for a tough schedule. This season, the Danes will face 4 2015 NCAA qualifiers, including UNC, Syracuse, and one of conference rivals Stony Brook. The team opens up at home on Saturday against Cornell.
Now, at the beginning of spring, you think of the weather, flowers, and baseball. While spring training is starting up for the pros, college games are already underway. UAlbany picked to finish 6th in the conference, teed off the 2016 season this past weekend at South Carolina. They took on the 2011 NCAA champs. They got out the brooms and swept UAlbany, the closest score, a 6-2 loss. The great thing about baseball, there's always a quick turnaround, and that's the case this weekend with the guys going back down the East Coast to face North Carolina A&T for a 3-game set.
And now over to the other diamond. The softball team will travel a lot as they look to recapture the America East title from Binghamton. The team is predicted to finish 3rd in the conference behind Binghamton and Stony Brook. This weekend, the Danes will take their first trip down to Florida. They will play a tournament in Jacksonville before traveling to South Carolina, Delaware, and Orlando before coming back up north to open up conference play against Hartford. They are hitting the road a lot this year, so we'll have to see as the season starts if this will be a factor for the Danes. Stay with us for our final thoughts. You're watching UAlbany Overtime. Welcome back. Now, before we go, we know the men played a great game against Stony Brook, and of course, when you break the longest win streak in the country, you're going to get on SportsCenter. That's right, not only were the Great Danes on one of Steve Levy's stars for the night, but announcers were comparing the Dallas Enema bucket to one of the Dr. J. Julius Irvings. That's some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it is, Donna. Now, I feel like this isn't even worth mentioning anymore because it happens every week. But Sharice Richards has reached another milestone, getting her 1,000th career rebound against Stony Brook. Congrats, Sharice, and we hope WNBA scouts are taking notice.
They definitely should. Yes, congrats to Sharisha and also to the men's and women's indoor track teams for taking home the conference title. For the men, this is their 11th consecutive America East title and the women's 4th straight.
That's pretty incredible. I can't run that fast, I know that. And of course, all athletes are students first and foremost, so gotta give some love to field hockey's Paula Hoyser, volleyball's Lainey Leindecker, and soccer's Alexa Schneider, who are all named America East Scholar Athletes for the 2015-16 season. Pretty impressive considering of the 6 athletes named, 3 came from Albany.
That's amazing. Gotta keep up the grades. And that's all for the time we have today. Join us next time for everything UAlbany sports. For UAlbany Overtime, I'm Donna Conrad.
And I'm Troy Farkas.
Saying good night and go Danes.